That's a good intro.
We're keeping that's for sure.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to the Monolith Film Podcast.
The new revised video podcast.
Baby.
I'm your host, Lee Byrne. Joining me as always,
I am Dante.
I am Nick.
we are your illustrious Monolith Podcast hosts. Welcome back.
Thanks for...
AKA movie snobs. But not really.
Today, we are doing something a little special, a little different.
Very special.
The Fantasia Film Festival in Montreal just wrapped up last week, I think.
Yes.
And we were fortunate enough to gain 10 tickets as press to review the festival. So this is our Fantasia episode.
Yeah, thank you, Fantasia.
Thank you, gang. Monolith gang.
Yeah.
We had the chance to watch a few movies. We got around to it.
Yeah,
I think we got the press accreditation pretty late, so we didn't have a chance to watch
all of it.
All of it, or nearly as much as I would have liked.
Hoping next year, maybe?
Hoping next year.
Next year we're getting a booth. On my mama, we're getting a booth.
But we did watch some stuff.
Yeah.
So, the first thing we watched was Daisy.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. So we watched...
And Gilliam wasn't there.
Yeah. I saw the least amount of movies, so I think this one might be more me reacting to stories or...
It's going to be more us gawking at you about these movies.
Yeah.
And also, Lee brought the book. We got the program guide.
The Fantasia book from this year.
I mean, it was my first time at the festival, too. And
Me too.
Pretty fun.
Should we start with that? Just the festival experience in general?
Yeah, sure.
Before we jump in? Okay.
This is the Montreal kind of yearly film festival.
So I've been almost every year since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I have almost all the program guides. And I like going to it a lot. And I told these motherfuckers it's gotta go.
It was pretty cool.
It was. It actually was really cool.
Yeah. For like the film viewing experience, it was pretty fucking fun. Like,
yeah.
I was imagining like a Rocky Horror Picture Show, you know, where people throw toilet paper and shit at the screen.
No, they're just meowing.
Lines. Yeah, exactly. They meow here. So I mean, that was fun for about like 30 seconds. The entire time you're going.
Yeah. So the thing about the Fantasia Film Festival is that during the screenings, whenever the room goes completely dark, everyone starts meowing. Like, meow, meow. And it's very fucking wizard. It's very weird.
Yeah. Big meme culture.
Big meme culture, yeah.
I mean, even the hosts of some of the movies were meowing. Like, it's not just an audience thing. It's actually now integrated fully into the
festival. But they've always been meowing. Ever since I've gone, they meowed. And I even told, when I went to watch Leah and Gillum, I said, yo, watch out, these motherfuckers. I don't know if they still do it, but they meow.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it.
And then they didn't believe me.
It's like, what the fuck? What do you mean they meow?
And then right after I told Lee that, it went dark and everyone starts meowing and Lee just looks at me like, what the fuck? Meow.
I mean, that was fun, but I mean, every single movie.
Have you guys been to any other film festivals?
I've been to TIFF once.
Yeah? Is it similar?
No.
Not at all.
TIFF is very Hollywood.
But
it's very blockbuster.
So
and there's no meme culture. TIFF is very serious. A lot of networking, a lot of red carpet kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
This was very fun and light and
it's like barely a festival.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, so that's what I was gonna ask. Because my, I mean, I've never been to any film festival before, and I can't imagine what the other ones are like. But I was expecting Fantasia to have more of a convention presence.
I feel like that, yeah.
I was obviously the movie screenings are separate, but I was still expecting there to be some sort of not necessarily convention center, because I wasn't expecting something like Comic-Con.
But you were expecting the hall to be filled up a bit.
Yeah, I was expecting there to be some sort of headquarters with more of a convention vibe.
Yeah. By hall we mean the hall building of the school we go to.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the Fantasia Film Festival is majority hosted by Concordia University here in Montreal.
Which I think we all went to Concordia.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
we did.
We went to Concordia.
So majority of the screenings happen in the Hall Auditorium, which is the biggest auditorium, or across the street at the library.
Hall does fucking rule though.
Hall
Like a
rules.
screening,
Hall rules,
rocks.
yeah.
That's a great.
But there are more rooms that they screen in. We just didn't go to them.
Yes.
Do they do the library building? Do they do the library?
They do
Yeah.
the library.
Most of the movies we watched actually
Were
were
in the library.
Yeah, the one we saw, all
Okay.
three of us was the
The
only
big
one
boy
that-
movies are in Hall.
Okay.
Like the big headliners are in Hall. There's sometimes they show at the Imperial Theater.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
do-
even
yeah.
the Cineplex and the Gap City Spectacle.
Really?
Yeah.
They do some movies there. They do some
Okay,
at
well,
the
that's fun.
Cinex I think I saw as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
But then, is that a good thing or a bad thing that it's more spread out?
Well, they're just trying to take up
vibe?
spots from other silver
Okay.
screens, you know?
Yeah.
I
Getting
think
more eyes around.
yeah, I think in terms of, I think it's a good thing because I mean it gets all the people who are coming in internationally a chance to explore Montreal.
Yeah.
I think also it gives the festival a chance to screen more movies on the same day at the same time,
Yeah.
stuff like that, right? More screens, means more movies.
Yeah.
It is fun. You kind of go to a different venue too, and you see a different movie. You get a different experience.
Yeah.
Or then you walk across the street, watch one movie, go back across the street, go watch
Yeah.
another.
That's a different vibe. You get a different.
And but like what Lee was saying is that the convention part, I told him, I was like, it's not much of a convention, but there might be stuff in the hall building. Like, so that there's an auditorium in the hall building. There's also like the main lobby floor where most people hang out. And like there was a desk with merch and that's it. You know,
popcorn.
and
There's popcorn.
popcorn
Yeah,
and like a couple Fantasia backdrops to take photos like when they do like the
I think-
press and stuff like that.
And I think for the big premieres, they also do the red carpet at Hall.
Oh yeah.
Oh, do they?
Okay.
Pretty wild.
Cool. Well, we'll see next year when we're fucking
Yeah.
hosting it.
Hey, ooh.
Oh yeah, when we're sponsoring
Hey.
Fantasia Film Festival. And the thing about Fantasia, especially compared to TIFF, Fantasia, like TIFF does a lot of like the Hollywood, big production.
Well, for those who don't know, TIFF is the Toronto International
Film Festival.
For all our Malaysian boys.
Yeah.
Oh no.
But actually, all our Malaysian boys are at Fantasia, because what I was going to say is that TIFF does all the blockbuster, big boy movies, red carpet shits. Fantasia does all the Asian, more international, kind of other language stuff, other than English.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a lot of Asian stuff, a lot of Chinese flicks, Japanese flicks, a lot of Korean flicks.
Well, I thought that's how it got the name though.
Well,
I
so
thought that was
Yeah.
so traditionally, Fantasia is also very much a genre film festival.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a horror.
Horror, sci-fi, fantasy.
Yeah. It doesn't do
Yeah.
that white girl fucking movies. You're not going to see any of that shit at Fantasia.
These days, I think yes, there's a couple dramas that
Now,
sneak
yeah.
in,
Yeah.
but traditionally, it is a genre film festival.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very genre based.
It was on the website too when I was writing to the people to see the screening, and they have some good like quotes from people. Like there's some big names that
Yeah.
quote.
Oh yeah,
or fucking-
like what I like to say, it's like MF Doom, you know.
Mm.
Fantasia Film Festival is your favorite filmmaker's film festival.
Right.
They don't go to TIFF. Any real motherfucker goes to Fantasia. TIFF is for the surface level basic motherfuckers. Fantasia is for the real people that want to watch real interesting movies by real directors across the planet, not just some fucking white people in Toronto, you know.
And so that's another thing going into it that I was worried about was that Montreal's like, it's a big city and it's a known city,
Yeah.
but it's not like
It's a
not New
low-key
York.
city.
Right. It's not New York. It's not Los Angeles. It's not
Yeah.
Toronto. So I wasn't sure.
Thank God, dude.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
God.
for the most part, I agree. For the film festival, I wasn't sure what sort of quality we were going to get in terms of films.
Yeah,
But I was pleasantly surprised.
Oh yeah.
me too.
Yeah. So it's
Well, I mean, I knew that you're gonna get a lot of good movies and you're gonna get a lot of shitty horror movies,
Yes.
and that's why I like it because you get a lot of
Yeah.
those B-ass fucking horror movies that you're not gonna see anywhere else, but they're fucking hilarious.
well, to see a B movie in like a theater is like so much fun.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's a movie.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
The movie's set.
And-
When we went to
Yeah.
watch, spoiler alert, when we went to watch Pandemonium, it was pretty funny. Where you get to that though?
And what Fantasia does also is they have a huge archive at their that's available to them. So what they do a lot is they show a lot of like retro B horror movies.
That's
Yeah.
right.
One of the movies we missed that I wanted to go see was Evil Judgment.
Okay.
It's a Quebec film
Mm-hmm.
from like the 80s.
Nice.
Like some super B schlock horror movie.
Yeah.
And, like they do stuff like that too, which is super sensitive. Like in terms like for like cinephiles who just maybe, you know, that day nothing catches your eye but you want to still go see a movie. You
Yeah.
still have that opportunity to go see something that's like really fun.
I mean, you can't watch like a Space Odyssey every day. You know,
Right,
have to watch
yeah.
more fun stuff.
Yeah, you gotta watch some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I mean, front to back, I was super pleased with the experience, and not to mention, I mean, I don't know if every screening at TIFF does this too, but we had the chance. There was a Q&A with the director after every movie.
Sometimes, but I only watched one movie at TIFF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did The Abandoned? Did we have a Q&A with the director after that?
No.
No.
Eh? So maybe just the small stuff.
The small stuff, yeah. If they do something in the hall, they're not gonna have a Q&A.
Too many people, I guess.
Too many people.
But
Sometimes they do. Actually, when I went to go see, I saw The World's End at
the
Fantasia.
Edgar Wright flick?
Yeah, the Edgar Wright film.
Nice.
And Nick Frost and Simon Pegg came out.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
And I did not get a chance to ask a question. I was like young. I was right when the movie came out.
Yeah.
But somewhere I have coasters from the fucking premiere of that movie.
That's dope.
And yeah, Nick Frost, Simon Pegg came out, and they asked some questions. But this was at the Imperial Theater. This was not at the hall. Okay. And that was fucking cool, man. I'm a big Cornetto guy, so that was wild.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you'll get those coasters. $5 a month.
I don't know that. I have like 2.
Oh, okay.
But no, yeah, it was, and even I was impressed with the hosts,
Yeah.
who are all,
They're all film people.
but they're all like Montreal people too, right?
Yeah.
They're not flying people in to host internationally. Like these are people who work for the festival, I think. And they're even all the blurbs in the program are written by whoever hosts the movie is the person who wrote the blurb
Yeah.
in the book, and they're well researched, they're well read, they know
They know what they're talking about.
It's nice, yeah.
They know what they're talking about.
The Abandoned, the movie I saw with you guys, I think had one of the best intros to like a screening I've ever seen. That was so fun. Like we had, I don't know if you guys want to start with this or start with the.
Let's start with The Abandoned.
That's
Okay,
when we
yeah.
all saw it together, and there's a couple shorts and then the feature. And like before the screening, you have, the host come out and talk about the filmmaker, the movie, what you're gonna see, kind of thing. And I found it just like so fun. These guys seemed like so enthusiastic.
Oh, they were so hyped. They were so stoked to be there.
Tripping over their words, tripping over everything. I couldn't hear like any word really out of anyone's mouth. I didn't understand what the guys were saying half the time.
Yeah.
It was
just because they were so excited.
It was a very genuine
Oh,
experience. Like everyone, you could tell everyone was there
To watch the
because
fucking
they
movie.
fucking love movies and they really wanted to
Yeah.
be there. Like there was
'Cause-
no pretension.
Because when you go to TIFF, it's a lot of actors.
Right.
That's why I went, because I was going with a bunch of actors.
Mm.
It's a fuck ton of actors. But at Fantasia, it's a fuck ton of directors. And people that make movies.
Yeah, it was-
not really just actors.
It was very cool.
So yeah, The Abandoned, it's a Taiwanese film from 2022, directed by Tseng Ying-ting,
Yep.
and
Rain as well.
translates to No Trace of the Heart. And it's basically, it's not that long a movie, it's like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And
Yeah, 128 minutes.
128 minutes, and it was fucking good. Like
It was sick, yeah.
it was pretty good.
It's described by the person who wrote the blurb here in the Fantasia booklet as Memories of Murder meets True Detective.
It's way better than True Detective, though.
I agree. It is, but I didn't catch any. It's so. Well, for those who know nothing about it, it's a detective flick.
Yeah.
It's a neo-noir genre film.
Yeah.
The lead, unconventionally, I think, in noir films is a female detective.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't get that
That's cool.
very often. Amazing character, too. The movie opens with her contemplating and going to the point of suicide, and then
She gets interrupted by some knocks.
she gets interrupted by a group of youngsters discovering a body, and then that sends her on the path to solving this murder, which saves.
Or a series of murders there.
Yes, series of which saves her life.
And it goes by the typical, True Detective thing where, like, there's symbols in these murders, and these murders are consistent with certain body parts that were removed and stuff like that, and they kind of go through the motions of different elements and different devices to kind of boil it down to one character that's the suspect, and it was very well done. I found it a lot better than True Detective, but if you watch season 1 of True Detective, it's very similar to that, just at a higher quality.
I didn't really expect the murderer to. I wasn't like, oh, I knew this was a fucking guy in 5 minutes. kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I thought it was a well-crafted story.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Super
very,
well
very well crafted.
Yeah. Have you guys seen the Netflix show Mindhunter, the David Fincher film?
I have. They're petitioning to come bring him back.
Alright, they should, man. That thing ended so abruptly.
Yeah.
And apparently, it was like they never published whether it was canceled I think the general consensus is that David Fincher just got too busy, so they stopped making it.
Maybe.
But it was never officially canceled.
Is that one?
So Mindhunter is the story about the FBI detectives who started the
Like serial killers.
the serial
Yeah, I
killer
did see that show,
section of the
Mhm.
of the bureau. I don't remember what behavioral science unit.
Yeah.
I did
So like
see
the
that,
show
yeah.
Criminal Minds, which is a lot more popular. That show is based on the unit that these people created. So Mindhunter is based on the true story of them creating that
Yeah,
FBI
they
unit.
do like
yeah.
Ed Kemper, they do a bunch of all these other...
Yeah, and their whole shtick was that they would interview serial killers. They're the first people to interview serial killers to gain insights on their psychology, to use that psychology to catch new serial killers. Anyways, fantastic show.
It's a great show.
I highly would. He didn't direct every episode, but he was the showrunner throughout.
Okay.
It's great.
Mhm.
I found the second season. I think they knew they were gonna have to end.
I don't think I saw a second season.
The second season I find is kind of like it's less interesting, but it's still good. Anyways, I found the reason I bring it up is because I found that Mindhunters would be a better comparison than True Detective. So I find True Detective has more cult.
Yes, but the format was very similar to True Detective. Like solving the mystery and all these symbols and trying to figure out who it is.
Yeah.
And it's like it ends up being like a guy that's like shown slightly in the beginning that you wouldn't have thought of. You kind of forget about at the end, but then at the end you're like, oh my god, it's him.
But True Detective is a lot more like just in terms of theme and mood.
Oh yeah, very different.
Very different. Yes.
Very different.
It's very much more of a straight neo-noir.
Like this is neo-noir that if you're a cinephile you could really appreciate. The shots, the colors, everything it's expertly, masterfully done.
Very slickly made.
Yeah.
Like,
Very
there's
slickly
not
made.
one
Yeah.
that stood out as like, oh, that shot sucks. Or,
I mean,
that was a weird
yeah.
moment. It was all fucking good.
The comparison to Boom Joon-ho's Memories of Murder is more apt. I know you guys haven't seen it.
That's what you said in the fucking feed.
Well,
Yeah,
I think that's what I'm gonna watch this week there.
Yeah, because Memories of Murder is that's a fucking good flick, and it's a fucking good detective movie. It's very, very similar in terms of tone and everything. I think this one's darker.
Okay.
Memories of Murder has a lot more humor, albeit dark humor, because it's still in the context of a neo-noir.
You gotta say your quote that you said that made me laugh in the metro.
Yeah, I was trying to think of it too, because I don't remember
I remember it.
Do you remember it?
I just don't want to say it for you.
Well, what was the word I used for the Western detectives?
Well, okay, so
Did I say douchebags?
you said racist assholes.
Okay, so the thing is, this is what I like about, Asian neo-noir films is that Western detectives are just kind of like racist assholes. They're just fucking stubborn douchebags most of the time,
Yeah.
It feels more black and white.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I've seen a neo-noir or detective flick or a cop flick from an Asian country, the detectives are just like they're tortured artists. It's such a stark difference in profession. Like, I mean, even in terms of what they wear, Like you watch Chungking Express by Wong Kar-wai.
Mm-hmm.
The first story is about a detective, and he just looks like a normal fucking dude.
Yeah.
But a Western detective will wear a suit.
Mm-hmm.
He'll feel important.
You know what? 'Cause
Asian-
I think a lot of the Asian flicks, they don't dig into the politics behind being a detective or being in law enforcement. They just they're doing the job,
Right.
And usually these Asian countries don't have like a high murder rate like fucking Baltimore,
Sure.
So the politics aren't there as much. So when a murder does happen in like fucking Japan, fucking on it,
Yeah.
There's fucking like no murders in Japan,
Well,
right?
this one too. She's about to kill herself. She goes, "Fuck, I gotta get on the job." Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
the work ethic the work mentality is very different in those countries than in the West. So that's where I feel that comparison is apt.
Yeah.
And that's fucking funny. When he said that to me in the metro, I was bawling. He just says, why is every Western detective a racist asshole, but every detective in Asia is just a tortured artist that fucking died, dude.
I feel it makes for a better movie to have that character.
Oh yeah,
forward,
oh yeah. And
Because a detective flick in the West turns into an action hero movie.
Mm-hmm.
But a detective flick in the East turns into this fucking deep drama.
yeah,
That's a lot more interesting.
And what I liked about it is that it touched on some social issues too in Taiwan that I didn't know about. With these Thai workers, these illegal workers in these sweatshops or whatever in Taiwan. And that's kind of where the story goes, you know, that these girls get abducted and they would work for these sweatshops. And they kind of dig deep into this underground world of sweatshop workers in Taiwan, and that's kind of how they figure out the murder.
Yeah, it was a very humanizing movie.
Very humanizing.
Like it definitely had you can tell the filmmaker had empathy for every single character, even the murderer. Right? It gives the murderer enough motive that you can feel compassion and you can understand his motive. Obviously without dismissing the crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean the characters are just so fleshed out.
Very fleshed out.
The only one I thought that stood out was like the comic relief character. Like the young deputy.
Yeah, the young deputy.
She felt like a character, and that was more like she's a comic character. Oh, she's very preppy and ready to go to the job. You know,
Yeah.
It seemed like a written character. Everyone else I found was very.
She was very stereotypical.
Yeah.
The rookie on the
If
job.
anything, that might be one of the few things I don't like about movies, that she wasn't as believable as everyone else.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else, like, the performances were so good and so well written that, like, it's one of those things where you forget they're acting and you feel like you're just watching something happen.
Mm.
And when a movie does that tells me the performances are amazing, because I'm fully immersed in not really the characters, but I'm just believing it. You know, it's like the performances are so good and so realistic that I forget that they're actors.
Yeah.
The one I think that stood out for me was one of the climactic moments in the movie, kind of 3/4 of the way through, maybe, when they find this. I think he was a Thai worker who had helped bury the body of the girl who was killed. And he gets one of the police officers' guns, and then he shoots himself, kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's like a tertiary character. He's not even a character in the movie.
He's so
and
deep.
his performance was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, I was sucked in on this guy. I was like,
yeah.
this guy, he's like probably getting paid like peanuts for the movie, and he's giving it like his all.
Yeah, and it's fucking
good.
believable characters, man.
Yeah.
And even when they did the whole bomb scenario, where they had like the bomb on the phone booth, and like the bomb threat, was very good. It was so like broad daylight bomb threat, and it was like
Tense.
It was just like, but like the color, like for me, my favorite thing about the movie is the colors.
Yeah.
The way they did colors in this movie is like amazing.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic looking movie.
Yeah.
Just to cycle back on that one scene you were talking about where they have a bomb in the phone booth. That scene, I think, has the one shot in it that stood out to me that I went, okay, I'm watching a movie kind of thing.
Mm.
And it was a perfectly symmetrical shot of the wall, a full building covering it. Looked like a little painting kind of thing with the phone booth in the middle, and then the bomb squad guy comes in with a long.
I kind of liked it. Like
it's very nice.
It's very aware of the camera.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
I found that shot stood out
It's,
as one that was.
Because it's a camera shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not a in the motion shot. Yeah. It's a you're aware of the camera.
Everything else is very for the character. This I thought was for the frame.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. That was the one I just remembered. So.
But what I like about that shot so much, that actually might be my favorite shot in the movie.
It's pretty sick, though. Yeah.
It's because in a lot of these Asian, movies, cop movies, whatever, these bomb threat, all the shots are done like that in those movies, and it just adds a moment of silence to this bomb threat. It's not like Hurt Locker, where it's a bomb threat and everyone's fucking yelling and there's noise everywhere. This one is just quiet. The street's empty, and they're approaching the bomb on the. It wasn't even actually really a bomb, but like. They had to approach it like that, and you got all the people in the back, but it was just like, I like that where the streets are closed off, but they don't tell you the streets are closed off. They don't do any of that. Just the street's empty, and they're approaching the bomb, but you assume everything's there, right?
Yeah. That too, like you said, just the people watching, like the reaction shots was half the scene, and that like built the tension too.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of watching what the fuck's happening.
I mean,
That's too in the theater.
What you said about like they don't show you walking off the streets and everything, that's one thing this movie did really well, I found, was exposition also.
Oh yeah.
It's not thrown in your face at all. You gather everything from supernatural dialogue, all the characters.
Fucking Brandon Cronenberg can learn a motherfucking thing about this movie, man.
All the characters, in terms of their backstory, who they are, their motivations for what they're doing, everything is just so
It's tight.
naturally given.
It's tight. It's expertly done.
One of the things like that, I was thinking like thematically for like a noir movie, normally you'd have this detective who's like, he's like some kind of douchebag guy.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the movie or something, he gets humbled or beat up or,
Yeah.
something happens to him. And then it's his redemption and he solves the thing at the end. So he has this kind of arc.
Yeah, redemption, yeah.
This movie I found...
She's humble from the start. She's about to blow her brains out. You know what I
It
mean?
starts with her getting beat up, and the whole movie is the wrapping up instead of the last thing.
I don't even feel like she feels redeemed at the end of the movie.
Well, so
Maybe a
her
little closure or something.
she accepts that her fiance. There we go.
Fiance, yeah.
She accepts that her fiance.
That was so good too. That story arc. Oh
Yeah,
man, with the fucking. So one of the plot points of the main character's movie is that like, she was trying to kill herself because her fiance killed herself.
Killed
himself in the car that she drives, and she sleeps in that car, and you could see a blood stain right above her fucking driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
And even when she missed the original shot at the beginning of the movie, there's that bullet goes like right beside the blood stain, and it's just well done. And she ends up scrapping the car at the end of the movie, but like
That's her closure.
yeah, that's her closure, right? But it was just so I love that. It was just so good. Like, I don't know. It was just so good. It was very good. Yeah.
Another thing thematically I thought was cool about it being like a neo-noir and it's breaking away from like the noir archetype is like normally the main character, the detective, has like a femme fatale
Yeah.
that kind of messes with the system or fucks up the scenario. Something happens. But this femme fatale is dead. So like, it starts, it's a different take on the femme fatale and it's not...
Well, like Lee said, it's very humanizing.
Yeah, it's not the main character's like muse too. It's a secondary character's muse that we go through.
Yeah.
Just a fun way to make the theme a little different.
Sure, and basically the femme fatale of the movie fucking died at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
She's like the dead body at the beginning of the movie.
We don't even see her die.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was fucking sick. I
that
thought
was
it was
very
fucking
movie.
cool. It was like gritty. It was cool. The jungle I thought was fucking sick. I find a lot of the time too with these kind of police procedural and like detective movies too. You'll start kind of civilized in the city. And then you'll move into the country, into rural, and it ends in like the woods somewhere.
This is in the
This
city.
I find, you're in the city, you're in the jungle for a minute, but then you're right back in the city, and it felt different. It felt cool. I liked the way it was made. The whole, I thought it was good.
Yeah.
The whole movie I thought was fucking
Very
good.
fucking good movie. Yeah.
Any closing thoughts?
I thought it was sick.
I thought it was sick. Oh, it was preceded by the short film Dark.
Well, should we rate The Abandoned?
Yeah, let's do
hop
that.
in the dark.
Yeah.
Sure. You go first.
So our adjusted scale, 5 being the perfect average.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for those who don't know, a 5 is perfectly average. So like, if you see us giving something a 5, you might think we're calling it a bad movie. No, we're calling it exactly average.
Yeah.
Anything below a 5 we would consider bad to horrible.
Yeah.
Anything above 5 would be above average. Good movie, so on and so forth. Go on.
So, like for example, like Letterboxd uses a 5-star average,
Yes.
a 5-star system. The average movie is probably around a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So adjust that scale so that our average is 5.
Yeah.
Basically, is what we're saying. It's an 8. 8, 7, 8.
For me, it's a solid 8.
Yeah.
Solid 8. For me, anything to be a 9 has to be like a god tier movie. 10 has to be like best movie I've ever seen.
Right.
We're gonna get to that, by the way. Go on.
I'm thinking 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Also because I
You really liked
expected. I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I was like hooked from the 2 seconds in the movie. I was like, what the fuck's going on? You know, it was something different than the normal.
I think
Setup of it.
the only thing the only reason I don't give it higher than 8 is because it doesn't have like a greater meaning, transcendental meaning, like Barbie does. But as far as a self-contained movie that's not like a super artsy, meaningful piece of conceptual art, that's as good as you get. It's as good as you get for just a straight movie.
That's pretty much my thoughts exactly. I mean, in terms of theme, the most I can pull from it was some sort of commentary on immigrants.
Yeah.
Right, and refugees and how, I don't know, something
was
along
thinking.
those lines.
Also, did you watch In the Mood for Love?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
We're gonna get to that.
Okay.
Nice.
But did you see any parallels in the movie for love with the colors, especially?
No.
No.
No, I mean, in terms of colors and stuff, I felt more of a connection to the video game Heavy Rain.
Very Heavy Rain kind of movie. If you like Heavy Rain, you should watch The Abandoned.
And not just because of the rain, but even their interior shots are very, in that movie.
100%. 100%. It's totally the same vibe.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of rain, the guy that took a photo for us had pointed out that it was raining the whole movie, basically up until her redemption right at the end where she scraps the car.
And then it's sunny.
Yeah.
Just a nice little...
Little touch. I didn't even think about it.
That guy too was awesome. For like a movie going experience, that was pretty funny.
He was awesome. Well, I guess that's a good transition to the next movie we should talk about.
Dark?
Pandemonium.
Well, we gotta talk about Dark first.
Talk about Dark first. Okay.
So most films at Fantasia are preceded by a short.
Yeah.
The short that preceded The Abandoned is Dark.
By Alistair Quack.
Alistair Quack, yeah. It's 9 minutes long. It was actually released in 2022. Yeah, this is the world premiere, so I guess it was made in 2022.
And the preface we were given at the movies, like he kind of opened the hall. He kind of opened the visual ceremony. The director Alistair Quack. And he said, it's gory, it's fucking awesome, and no one's seen it off my laptop.
Yeah, so it looks good on my laptop.
Looks good on my laptop.
So
The result looks good on the silver screen.
That's true, that was awesome.
Yeah.
I fucking loved Dark.
It's pretty sick.
I said this right away, and I said this to people who have asked me how the festival was and everything, and I'm gonna, spoiler alert for my rating at the end. I think Dark is a fucking perfect short film. It is exactly what a short film should do. It should give you zero context.
Yeah.
It should literally just
It's a picture. It's a painting it's a picture frame in the.
Yeah. Just fucking write a full movie, film the climax. That's it. That's what a short film should be, I think.
Yeah.
And this movie was so fucking good.
This one was also expertly done.
Yeah.
Masterfully done.
It was sick.
It wasn't as high budget as The Abandoned, but it was like, 9 minutes? Alistair Quack.
They pulled it off, though.
Fuck, man, it was so good. It might have been better than The Abandoned. I don't know.
I mean, for moving camera and camera technique and stuff, probably.
Probably.
It was so sick.
For like, maybe like a tenth of the budget?
Yeah,
Probably.
probably way less.
Way less.
Yeah, like $100.
Quickly.
Quackly.
Dark opens on this woman who's covered in blood with a broken arm. Presumably she's been kidnapped. There are people banging on a dungeon door who have lost the key. They're trying to get in.
Yeah.
The camera switches to a man who's also covered in blood in the dungeon, and there's a phone next to him. And then the rest of the movie is this woman trying to, for the most part, turn over from her back onto her stomach and then crawl over to the phone.
Probably like 4 minutes of her trying to turn over.
And it's
feel
so well made. Like, you can tell she's been there so long because the blood is sticky as she turns over her shirt.
Yeah, it like macros in on the blood peeling off her shirt as she comes out. It's so fucking
so just like you can fucking taste how hard it is for her to turn.
Oh yeah.
It was so fucking good.
The wide angle lens too is like a millimeter away from her the entire time.
Yeah, I fucking loved it.
It was fucking good. And you wanna finish the synopsis a little bit?
Okay, do you like get into the twist?
Yeah. Tell them the whole synopsis.
So she turns over, she crawls over, and then the twist is instead of reaching for the phone, she reaches for a screwdriver next to the phone and starts stabbing the other person who's been kidnapped. And at the very end of the film, somehow the screen of the phone wakes up, and the lock screen is like both of them on their honeymoon or on their wedding day or whatever. Whatever the picture is, it gives you the context that they're married, they're a couple.
Yeah, and right at the end, the guys that are trying to get in, they come in and they pull her off his body.
They pull her off of him as she's trying to stab him, and the movie ends.
Oh, fucking insane.
It was so fucking good.
Fucking good.
Just color, shots, literally every single scene of that movie, I thought, oh, this is fucking cool.
I hope it gets released. If any of these movies, like short films, whatever we're gonna talk about, that's not a big feature, gets released somewhere on YouTube or Vimeo, we're gonna link it.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
Dylan? He's gonna do it.
The one thing I thought that kind of took me out of that movie though was that wide angle. You could kind of tell the quality of the lens itself wasn't like the most high.
Yeah, he's not filming in 4K.
Yeah.
That
So,
didn't
like,
bother me.
No, but
I actually liked it more.
The aesthetic itself didn't bother me, but the one moment when she finally turns over and she starts crawling towards her boyfriend or whatever, and it's a close up of her kind of dollying back.
Okay, yeah.
You get some lens flare in it.
You do from the back door to the background.
The lens flare, it looks more like a phone flare or something. Like the flare itself, I went, oh, okay, it's a cheap camera.
I didn't notice the flare.
I did notice it, but I'm not a camera wizard, so I'm not.
I noticed, and you pointed out to me after as well.
The warping.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
notice that? Throughout the movie, there's like this weird wave effect warping.
It's very subtle wave effect that goes on. when the girl moves and crawls around, or even when she was turning around. It's fucking good.
I thought it was fucking cool too.
What I think that is, I don't think it's a style thing. I think that's on Premiere. When you have shaky footage, you can warp stabilize it.
Oh,
and
really?
It stabilizes the footage by...
No, it looked pretty intentional.
I mean, if you're doing that, that's my guess. Is that it's a warp stabilized clip.
I thought it was cool. To me,
It emphasized like the adrenaline and the confusion and all the pain that she's going through.
If it works, it works. Though. If it's a technique, it works.
like when you look at a barbecue on a hot summer's day, and like the heat waves are kind of...
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Yeah.
To me, it was like fucking pain waves. Like it made the pain more fucking visual. But it could have just been a happy accident, for sure. I have no idea.
If it is, it's good then. It
But,
still works.
Yeah, it was fucking good. I don't know. Fucking 10 out of 10 for me.
You give it a 10.
Straight up.
I give it a 9. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I'll give it a 8.5 also.
8.5 also.
I think Dark is literally
best short film.
a
Yeah, it's one of the
perfect
best
short film.
One question I had for you guys, I don't know if it's, you guys might have seen more movies, maybe you know the context more. Before Dark, there was like a 3-minute video.
I have no idea what that was.
Oh, the fucking really grainy one with like all the weird. I have no idea what that was either.
I have no idea, and that's
That
why
wasn't prefaced.
I looked here
Let me
and
get some water, I'll be
it
back.
fucking says nothing. I have no idea what that was.
Alright.
So before Dark, so the film was preceded by the short film Dark, which was preceded by some other short film that was given zero context. It's not in the book. I haven't found it. If it is, and it was like this weird like crypt keeper type
It
thing.
was like a set piece in a studio, smoky room of
Yeah.
an old Asian guy being like, "Oh, do you like ghosts? How about this for a ghost?" And we get 3 mini vignettes of little ghost stories. It was maybe 5 minutes long, the whole thing.
Good.
I mean, the style, if it was made now, it looks like something from the 70s.
Yes.
But if it was from the 70s, it just looks like something.
It was also good, but it was a bit too weird, and it wasn't like I didn't know what it was called, so I was like, okay.
Well, half the movie, too, we didn't have the subtitles because the projector was pointing
Yeah,
down.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I have no idea what that was. Genuinely no idea.
Yeah, so I thought that was dark at the beginning.
Me too.
Eesh, that was a bit rough.
And then when Dark started, I thought it would be abandoned.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, this is gonna be fucking
Yeah,
good.
exactly. And then we suddenly got that. So
Yeah.
okay. But it worked out in the end. I mean, it was maybe a setup
Yeah.
just to get you in the movie-going mood. You know, like instead of having trailers or something, buy your popcorn now tonight to get you in your seat. This was maybe to let people get in their seats if they showed up 10 minutes late to the screening.
Yeah. So transitioning to the next movie.
Cut?
Yeah, hard cut.
Should we cut
Hard
first?
cut.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the rest of the Fantasia Film Festival.
Monolith.